don't sacrifice uniqueness on the altar of conformity. So I'm taking a walk and a conversation last night with friends of mine at an open mic night, and I hope this thing is not too shaky. Anyway, we're talking about tone, and I want to share like 2 experiences that I had that may help inform me how I think about my tone, and it might help you too, maybe not. But so Friday, I didn't have a gig, so I went and saw a friend of mine who was playing a couple towns over, and he was sounding really good. And I'm like, man, I don't sound like that. And I'm like, oh, that must mean my tone stinks, and I need to like sell everything and redo it. And the fact is, that's not the case. Sure, I don't sound like him. I'm a different player. I have a different approach. I have different gear. I play different style of music. And man, my tone sounds different. But different does not mean bad. Just because you sound different doesn't mean it's bad. Actually, it's probably a good thing. You know, there's a tendency to everybody to sound the same. Everybody copies the same people. And to have a little bit of uniqueness about your tone is a positive thing. So that's the first story. Second story. So this is a number of years ago. Actually, I think I mentioned it a little bit in my last video. Purchased a PRS Vela. And what I wanted was a PRS Tele. So I love PRS guitars, and I love Teles, and I wanted that to be a thing. Of course, now it is with the NF53, the Miles Kennedy, but at the time it wasn't. So I wanted this Vela to be a Tele, but it's not a Tele. It didn't sound like a Tele. The Vela is its own thing, probably closer to a Junior, like a Les Paul Junior, than it is a Telecaster. And so, like, I ended up selling it. It played great. Like, I loved how it played, and I liked how it sounded. Like, I loved how it sounded, but it wasn't the sound that was in my head. So I got rid of it, and I regret it. I wish I had that guitar back. I miss that guitar. Now owning 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 Teles, I have a problem. I miss what the Vela did. It was unique, and it was cool, and it was special, and that guitar played so great. And I let it go because I wanted something else. It wasn't the guitar's problem. It was my problem. I didn't really buy what I wanted. And so if you want to, the moral of that story is, if you want to sound like a Strat, get a Strat. If you want to sound like a Tele, get a Tele. So maybe you're trying to make gear sound a certain way that it was never designed to sound. You may want to reevaluate what you have and make some changes. Yeah, but don't do that on the altar of sounding like everybody else. Maybe what you have going on is unique. And I might come around tonight. Let's go. Maybe what you have is unique, and I look really weird to all my neighbors sitting here recording a video like an idiot. But I'm trying to take a walk and keep this YouTube channel going at the same time. So anyway, yeah, you might have chosen the wrong gear. You're trying to get something out of that gear that was never intended to. My arm's getting a little tired. But don't go selling everything before you analyze the uniqueness of your sound. Maybe what you're doing is special in a way that you're too close to it and you can't see. So this is where I find things like open mics, 2 that I attend regularly. The community there in both of those places has been awesome. Go try stuff out and see if it works, and develop friendships and ask them for feedback and see how it feels as you're doing it. Don't sacrifice uniqueness on the altar of conformity. Maybe that's the tagline, or that's the deep thought. I don't know. So anyway, just out here taking a walk. Those are some thoughts, some walking thoughts, and I hope that was coherent. Anyway, remember, it's always about the song. Peace.